Remember I told you that I would update you weekly, or at least as much as I can get a video out. Basically, it's about menopause and losing weight after menopause. I lost a pound, then I gained it back. Am I worried about it? No, I'm not panicking, because after menopause, the game changes and we have to play a little bit different type of game. That's it. First of all, 1 pound of body fat doesn't happen overnight. You would have to eat at least an extra 3,500 calories over what I've actually eaten throughout the day. I promise you, I didn't do that. What usually shifts is water retention. Glycogen stores bind water, and for every 1 gram of glycogen, the body holds about 3 grams of water. Slight carb change, yeah, of course, that's going to affect you. Sodium, stress. We know that stress has did a number on me, especially after burnout of caregiving and grief. Basically, water is dramatic and fat is slow. I realized that stress sensitivity is really the main feature after or going through menopause or perimenopause. Our bodies have become so much more sensitive to stressful events and things that may not bother us as much in our 40s or 30s even. Today, at the age we are, I'm 56 and I know most of my audience is around my age. Some are below in perimenopause, so I understand there's fluctuations. You have great days or great weeks, and then you have horrible weeks. Totally understand that. So after menopause, I realized that we are just more sensitive to stressful events. Therefore, we will gain weight because our body is in protection mode. And we are losing estrogen, and the less estrogen we have, the more fat storage that's going to happen because the body is trying to protect itself. So with lower estrogen, then that means decrease of insulin sensitivity. And that's the name of the game. I know if I focus on insulin sensitivity and my cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, bringing that down, if you are having stressful events in your life, or you're eating a lot of extra carbs, or just eating in general, but focusing on that protein is really what I laser focus myself to do. And really, cortisol becomes so much louder if we don't get our environment in check. And that meant for me is that I had to zone in and guard with my life sleeping better. I had not been sleeping very well, and this past week though, all of a sudden I'm sleeping through the night more often than not. And I noticed that the bloating feeling of the belly fat has come down in the mornings. Usually, well, at least a few weeks before that, what I was seeing is that I would wake up and I'm still overextended. That's because I wasn't getting the sleep, toning down those stressful events, right? Dealing with whatever is stressing me and talk to somebody about it. Those were the things that I adjusted. It wasn't much, nothing different from my actual diet, because diet is huge. That's about 70-80% of your plan to lose belly fat or lose weight in general. I realized that the poor sleep is just increasing my cortisol, and therefore it's more water retention, period. And that cortisol can make you hold fluid even when you're thinking you're doing everything right. So yeah, I had to focus in on the sleeping better. The other thing is I had to close the kitchen a little bit earlier than I have. I noticed there's been some creeping happening where I'm eating past 7 p.m. Really, that is my golden time. I cannot eat, whether it's a dessert or something like that. If I really feel that I'm craving something, then I have to have my tea, and then maybe I might do a little bit of protein, but that's in desperation and to make sure that I'm hitting my protein goals. I've only done that one time this week where I felt like I wanted to eat or snack on something around 8 o'clock, and I did put a little protein in, not the full amount, but just enough to curve things down, and also to reach my protein goal when I was a little short. And also, if I found myself stressing over an extra pound at the beginning of the week, then it literally makes everything worse. Protein in my tea has been a good thing in the mornings especially. So yes, I continue to do that. So it makes me feel like I have a little more energy and I can do a better performance in weightlifting or any type of exercise that I'm doing that day. And especially with my exercise, I added an extra day of weightlifting, meaning 4 days a week versus 3 this week. I just wanted to see if that would help a little bit on pushing forward. It did help. I did actually lose another 2 pounds after my pound gain. So I always say, hey, I lost a pound per week because that's the average that is happening. But I felt the difference, and I can see that in my waistline, and it was a 1/2 inch off of my waist. The tea actually helps me hit my 100 grams of protein. Now, sometimes I'm under where I might just hit 90, and that's okay because I eat 2 meals. I don't snack. I really looked at doing more fish. I did some shrimp. I did a lot of extra vegetables like broccoli or zucchini. And I still had some carbs. I had like a 1/2 potato and 1 meal with my salmon. And then I had in another meal, I have this sourdough pita bread. And I put my tuna on top of that as my first meal instead of eating eggs that day. So I felt amazing. I felt so much better. And I woke up with a flatter stomach. Protein has the highest thermic effect of all macros. Protein preserves the muscle. The muscle is protecting the metabolism. So that right there keeps me motivated to continue to eat protein and make it a priority on my plate with my vegetables. And there you go, the full meal that I need, because you're already getting some fats because I'm cooking in olive oil or maybe a little bit of butter. But I did have to really zone in on the creeping of too much butter that I was cooking with. So I toned that down. Within a couple of days, you see the difference. You feel the difference. So at this stage in life, muscle is not optional. It is a must to keep the toned look and to draw in your frame, meaning waistline and your thighs and wherever that you have that extra fat load. Muscle will define your body and tone you to a point where you may be the same weight, but you will have less inches all around. So I'm paying more attention to the inflammation in my body and noticing in my face, inflammation is starting to come down a bit. I mean, I kind of have fat cheeks anyway. I'm speaking about the over puffiness that I was seeing and I didn't recognize myself. I'm seeing that start to subside a bit. Energy more so with performing my weightlifting and any type of exercise and walking. Continue to walk, and I'm doing what we call the health bounce on the Rebounder as well. So that's just about 5 to 10 minutes max per day, maybe 15. It just depends. I might break it up 5 minutes in the morning and then maybe 10 minutes in the afternoon or evening after a meal if I couldn't get out to walk, because I actually missed 2 days of walking this week because it was just rainy. Just figured the bouncing would help a lot, and it did. I think part of my journey this time around, at least menopause journey, is that I can't keep chasing my pre-menopausal body. I just have to understand that I'm going to look different. I'm going to have a different shape, more hopefully of an hourglass. It's just a different system all the way around. And that's fine because I am a different person the older that I get, and I hope that I become more wiser as I'm going along on this path. And it's a different type of wisdom, just smarter and more disciplined. That's it. Just tighten it up. If you have these types of little fluctuations, let me know in the comments. I love to hear about it, and we can figure out strategies along the way. Don't forget, I have my ebook and I have some freebies as well to focus on attacking menopausal belly fat. We can do this together, and anything new you want to share, please do. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video, and always remember, you can begin again. Cheers.